Hey moms, it's Katie here, and I am with Jennifer today. And Jennifer is from Tennessee, moved to Arizona several years ago, right? A couple years ago?
20.
20 years ago. So, yeah, just a couple. You kind of feeling like a native of Arizona yet?
Just a little bit.
So, tell me, where exactly in Tennessee are you from, and why did you move to Arizona?
So I'm from a town called Clarksville, which most people know it right by Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
Okay.
So lived on the military base. My parents retired there. We moved to Arizona because my ex-husband now got a job with Intel.
Oh, okay.
So heard all of these horror stories about how hot it was. You don't want to move there. And I absolutely love it.
Good to hear. I did too. And I've been here about 15 years now from a cold weather state, a little bit colder than Tennessee, but maybe we'll get into that here. So, how long, think back, I know 20 years is a long time. It's certainly a long time for me. How long did it take you to move here?
Well, we drove a U-Haul truck.
Okay.
So it took us about 3 days because I was also pregnant at the time.
Oh, fun.
So we had to stop multiple times, either to pee, to eat, or to throw up.
Oh, the lovely days of being pregnant. Totally haven't forgotten any, not even a moment of that. When did you start making arrangements? So you got the job offer, and then what did you start to do? Walk me through that.
Well, as soon as he got the job offer, first thing we had to do was fly. We flew out here. We found an apartment
Hmm.
because we already had a 4-month-old
Oh, wow.
with the second one on the way.
Oh, dear.
So we flew out here, found an apartment, flew back, started, researching different pricing on U-Hauls, who is the cheapest, gas and, or if it was going to be more economical to have a company move us.
Hmm.
Well, it was cheaper for us to do it ourselves. So did that, drove out, had everything already set up before we even got here. We had the water set up. We had the electric set up. We had the cable set up. So I literally organized and prioritized everything so that all he had to do was unload the truck and we were good to go.
Awesome. And you needed to do that because you were not only pregnant and who wants to do all this crap and scurry around while you're pregnant, but you also had a 4-month-old. So that's a little baby.
Yeah. Well, luckily, my mother and father-in-law at the time, we made arrangements for them to fly out with him afterwards so
Oh,
that
nice.
we wouldn't have to make that long journey with him.
Yeah, no kidding, because I'm sure it would have been a long journey much longer.
Yes.
So besides all that, and that's pretty cool that you were able to get your whole household set up before you got out here. Besides that, were there any other special arrangements that you can remember making?
Um, Trying to think. I reached out. This was before Facebook, so it was MySpace at the time,
Good old
and
classic.
yeah, showing my age. I reached out to a couple of people out here in Arizona to find where the good areas were. So thank God for MOMnation because anybody can post on there now and ask about the different areas before you even come out here.
Right.
That was the hardest thing of not knowing exactly what city. I knew where the city the job was located in, but the nice thing is I can live in any city and it's all within driving distance.
Yeah, we're set up pretty awesome like that. I was talking to another gal that had moved up from Massachusetts, and we were talking about how awesome it is to have that grid set up. So you can't really get
Right.
lost out here. I mean, if you're my mom, you totally can, and she has. But if you're not my
Same
mom,
with mine.
right, then you can't get lost out here. Whereas in some other cities, especially older cities, they're set up more of just large goat paths and
Right.
landmarks and all of that kind of thing. So it does make it a lot easier to travel and get around out here and plug into the freeway system pretty easy.
Yeah, that
So
was nice.
so you were pregnant, had a 4-month-old, so you didn't have to make any special arrangements for school yet, but
No,
you
but
probably needed an OB and
I
stuff like that.
did. And I did. And luckily, and we have no family out here. So luckily, again, MySpace, I befriended a couple people that were here in Arizona, and they helped me. And then I was able to get in touch with some of the wives that their husbands were already employed at Intel, and they kind of helped me with an OB.
Oh, that's so nice. It's so good to have those local connections because you don't know. There's 1,000 OBs out here in any one area, and you don't know who's good and who people have
Right.
tried before and had good luck with or didn't like or has shitty bedside manner or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's awesome. What's the biggest difference that you've discovered between your home state and Arizona?
Trees. And the greenery. I mean, yes, there's trees, but that was the biggest thing that I had to adjust to. Then I had to adjust to more shopping locations.
Ah, yes.
Yes, there was a lot more to do than being from a small town.
Right. We kind of we joke about it out here in Arizona, how we have our bubble, right? And it's like this maybe 4 square mile bubble that we've all established around where we live because there is a grocery store, there is a Target, there is a Home Depot, there is, all that stuff that you're going to need on a daily.
Yes, everything. The urgent cares now, there's one, on every corner.
Yep.
So that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's super convenient. I come from a small town too, and that was also weird for me to get used to. But as soon as I did, I loved it real quick.
Yes, absolutely.
Is there a part of town that's most like your home state in terms of the people or maybe like sports teams, sports bars, scenery, feel, culture?
I love all the events that go on out here. That's one of the main things because where I come from, community is good, but there's not really a lot of community events.
Gotcha.
There's not really a lot of things that moms can go out and get together and do this. Here in Arizona, it's like there's always something. I can always find something to do. Other moms were reliable on helping me when I needed somebody to watch one of the kids while I ran to a doctor's appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a tremendous help for me. But scenery-wise, I love Awachuki. Just love it. Being able to see the mountains every which way you turn.
Mm-hmm.
That is just, the scenery is wonderful.
And is that something you came from? I'm trying to recall the topography.
Well, in Tennessee, we have mountains, but they're covered with trees. So we have forest. So it's a lot greener in Tennessee and trees lined everywhere. But here it's just, I don't know, it's just special to me. I love it.
I agree with you. And when I first moved out here, tell me if you had this experience. The sky seems so big.
Oh, yes.
Right? It's like giant sky. And I think it's because we're used to the trees and because we have mountains back in New Hampshire that's full of trees as well. And it's just smaller. The sky's smaller.
Yes. No, I absolutely agree. That is an excellent observation.
It's funny. What do you wish you knew before that you know now? So what do you wish you knew before you moved that you know now that you'd like to share with moms that might be moving from your home state?
What do I know? That's a tough one because social media has came so far.
Oh, yeah.
So, the first thing I would say is find the local MOMnation, hook up with the gals, ask as many questions as you can, about the living arrangements, the schools. There's got to be at least 1 or 50 of us that can answer those questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just really all boils down to those local relationships. I totally agree.
Yes.
Any advice you'd like to offer for families looking to move to AZ from your home state?
No advice. Just do it. Because we're
what
wonderful.
What are you waiting for?
Yeah, we're wonderful.
I agree with you. And, I had the discussion before I moved out here too. It was about a year that I was planning on doing it. And I had the discussion several times about the heat. And, you know, to be honest, the old cliche of it's a dry heat really is true. You know, we joke about it a lot. We even have like bumper stickers and stuff like that, I think, with it on it, you know, with the skeleton all, you know, melting and whatever. Then it does get warm. I mean, 120 is warm either way you slice it. But the fact of the matter is it is very dry. So it's not that sweaty, just like you feel like you can't even move type feeling that you have back east, because back east they get 100 degrees too. Florida maybe goes over 100. I mean, I don't know. I never lived there, but I'm assuming so. And it's just like, I feel like it's harder to breathe, harder to move, harder to do things.
The humidity is what kills you back there. And it was the same way in Tennessee. And I love the winters here. Don't really need a coat.
Nope. Well, it's what, December 5th, and you're outside right now in just a shirt, it looks like. I just came in from outside. It's probably like 72 out, wall-to-wall sunshine.
I think so.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's absolutely wonderful.
Awesome. Is there anything else that we didn't go over that you'd like to share with a family moving from Tennessee?
Not that I can think of.
Well, cool. Well, I appreciate you being with me today, Jen.
Thanks, Katie.
Thanks. We'll see ya.